Why do so many people love playing board games by themselves? Aren't they meant to be played socially? Well, today I'm going to offer 10 reasons why gamers might actually prefer to play alone, and why that's okay. I'm also going to feature 10 single-player board games that can provide a rewarding and fulfilling solo experience. Thanks for checking out Legendary Tactics. Solo tabletop gaming has been a hobby with a stigma for quite some time. Discussions on the subject used to inevitably lead to jokes about playing with yourself. After all, aren't board games meant to be played with other people? There's nothing wrong with playing video games in single-player mode, so why has this sentiment not always been shared for board gamers? I believe it's because people don't always recognize the reasons and the rewards for playing a game solo. If you're a solo game purist, please forgive me because I've included some games on my list that were not originally designed for solo play. They're cooperative games, but they lend well to solo play. Number 10 is Imaginative Escape. Some people love games because of the interactions with other players, but another segment of board gamers just really truly loves the games. Think of board games like a novel. You can escape from our world into the world of the game. It's an imaginative, intellectual, and tactile experience. So for me, a game that's not really intended as a solo game that serves this function is The Captain is Dead. I've always been a sucker for the broken ship in space theme with the clock ticking to fix it. And since there's no hidden information between players, this co-op game is actually quite fun to play by yourself. If you take turns playing 3 or 4 different characters, you can dive into your broken down ship and desperately try to fix it before the masochistic alien game mechanism cleans your clock. It's hard not to picture that it's you running around on the ship blasting aliens and repairing core systems. I quite enjoy it. Number 9, the puzzle. Another good reason for solo gaming is to solve a puzzle or to take on a designer's system and to crack it. And now this can't be easy. The games I love most are the ones that are a challenge to win. The intellectual challenge can be very rewarding when you finally solve it. The game that does this for me is Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. When I spend only a few hours on a case, I rarely do well. This one really demands that you invest time in it. It draws me into the narrative. And isn't this the purpose of detective novels? This game is, in fact, the evolution of the detective novel in my mind. It actually brings you on board to solve the case, rather than just watching somebody else solve it. Number 8, competing against yourself. Beating a board game AI is rewarding, but so is competing against yourself. There's a reason that video gamers of yesteryear used to love getting high scores. It's not the points that matter. It's developing mastery over a game and refining your skills. And it's really quite satisfying to do better than you've done in the past. The game I most love for besting myself is Wingspan from Stonemaier Games. I almost chose Viticulture here, and it's a great game too. But Wingspan, played with the Automa system, is a fun challenge with multiple paths to victory, depending on what cards are offered. And the Automa is something that Stonemaier now offers as standard equipment on their games because they've realized that solo gaming can be a really cathartic experience. Number 7, challenge. Many of the games on my list are ones that are primarily intended as multiplayer games, but there are some great games built exclusively for solo play. I was introduced to the P&P turned published solo games via Underfalling Skies, and that was a great game, but it wasn't quite the challenge I was looking for. One of the best reasons for playing a game is to take on the challenge and beat it. Honorable mention in this slot goes to Robinson Crusoe, which came out at the same time as the game I'm choosing. The game that just seems to keep breaking my back is Friday. It's a quick 25-minute game, or in my case, 10 minutes because of, mortality and being terrible at it, but it's a game that I keep wanting to play. As a gamer, I'm a little bit fickle, and if I don't enjoy a game after the first play or two, I never go back. But if I find myself thinking about that game later and wanting to solve it, that for me is a keeper. It's easy to learn, it's a nice little distraction from whatever ails you. Number 6, intuitive AI. This is a little bit different category, but sometimes you just really have to respect well-designed games. And this is going back a little bit, but the very first game that blew my mind for how it automates the antagonist was Pandemic. You're probably getting a sense that I enjoy hijacking co-op games and just playing as multiple characters, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I mean, again, there's no hidden information, so this game actually does play very well by yourself. Despite the theme being a challenging one to play now, I think it's very interesting that the virus in this game is not only really intuitive and easy to learn, but it also simulates how a virus infects exponentially. And for me, there's nothing worse than spending a lot of time with a flowchart or with your nose buried in a 40-page rulebook that controls the baddies. Pandemic never feels as if you're working hard to automate your opponent. It's the right level of challenge with a streamlined AI. If you're getting value from this video, please take a moment to like the video and also consider joining our channel by subscribing. Let's move on to number 5, refining your skills. Some games take a lot more play to master, especially asymmetrical games. To get good at a game, you sometimes need more playtime than you can get in social settings. I'll confess that the game I've chosen here is much better with a group of friends, but it's also one that I feel I need to practice more so I can really learn how to play each faction. Root, the Clockwork Expansion, lets players face off against automated systems for the other factions. Now, it's a bit fiddly if you're playing with the cardboard and you need to learn how to run the automa, but I absolutely love this game, and being able to play it solo means that I can decimate my casual playing friends. I do really enjoy playing this one in its digital format because it takes care of all the bothersome AI, so this one is quite fun in that format as well. Number 4, replayability, exploration, and narrative immersion. I've put all 3 of these together because I think they're all very important in solo gaming, and I've found a game that satisfies all of them. I love when I really get into the narrative of a game and I'm fully immersed with the characters, the story, and the gameplay. If a game can draw me deep into its story and make me actually care about the characters on the board, then it's really doing its job. When I played the game Frostpunk, the video game, I really started feeling bad for my civilians trudging through the snow and the poor kids being forced to work and getting injured and sick. However, I find the Frostpunk board game to be a little bit daunting as a solo player game, trying to manage the hunger, the health, the laws, etc. There's just a lot of overhead there. But I've actually chosen another game that is more accessible than Frostpunk for its narrative immersion. One of the best solo games in recent memory is This War of Mine. With this game, you get a slice out of a war-torn world with real intensity. There's a real story here with a complex and customizable plot. It's a game where your decisions really matter and they impact your characters. Some game mechanics lend well to solo gaming include the push your luck mechanic, and that can be a lot of fun in this, going out in the daytime to try and scavenge a little bit extra. I love that you can take risks, win the rewards, or suffer the consequences. And the more choice you have in a game, then the more replayable it is. But I also want the characters with real problems that need to be solved. This game comes with a scripts book with over 1,000 events. It actually has an app too that works really nicely. It's really elegant. So the number of possible storylines is really impressive. The main reason to love this game, though, is not to win it. And I don't think anyone ever really wins this game. You just survive this game. But really, it's to experience the game. One caveat though, this is a sad sack game. It's not one you play to lighten the mood. All kinds of terrible tragedies will happen to your characters. It can be quite nasty and depressing. And that's why I like this game for playing it solo. It's not meant to be a laugh out loud party game. It's meant to simulate what it might feel like to live in a time of war, to struggle, to survive. It's a dose of reality, which is something that not everybody wants in a board game. So think about this one carefully before you decide to play it, but overall, I really enjoyed this one as a solo game. By the way, if you could take a moment to let me know what you enjoy about solitaire gaming and what games are the most rewarding for you in any of these categories, I'd be ever so grateful and just really interested in hearing what your thoughts are on each of these reasons for gaming solo. Number 3, leveling up. There's something intensely satisfying about starting with a base character and then throughout the game improving their skills, buying new weapons and perks, and leveling them up, so to speak. In solo gameplay, I think this experience is magnified even more because you get to decide how to optimize how you disperse the gold and other goodies across your characters. Please forgive me for including another co-op game, which is technically listed as 2 to 4 players, but some co-op games really do lend well to solo play. An example of one that doesn't lend well is Time Stories. I love that game in a social setting because different people have different bits of information. But the Legends of Andor, all of the information is shared, and in fact there's mechanisms in the game that encourage you to share. It's a little bit like Gloomhaven Light, and in order to beat the game you need to find those efficiencies to level up your characters and send them to the right place at the right time. Replayability isn't quite as good on this game, but overall as a solo experience, it's a lot of fun. Number 2, having a new experience. When you've had a great experience with a game in the past, it's nice to extend your horizons and try something new. And the freshness of a new game, the wonder that comes with the unexpected, and the excitement that a new gaming experience brings can be another motivator for solo gaming. It almost becomes a quest for board gamers to find the next hit. I almost picked Spirit Island for this slot, but there was another game that caught my interest even more. For me, the game that was a really pleasant surprise this year was Pax Pamir 2nd Edition. It came out in 2019, and it slipped completely under my radar until some of our viewers alerted me to its awesomeness. It's an area control style game with some card drafting mixed in there. And in solo mode, you're battling against a Wakan AI opponent, and they're really unpredictable. Sometimes they're a little bit daft, and they also get additional powers to compensate. So overall, I think the balance works out quite well. This game will take a little bit more management on your part because you have to play your own hand as well as the AI hand, but that also immerses you in the game more. The Wakan is a challenge. The game has a strong replayability because there's lots of variety in how each game develops, but if you're looking for something a little different, maybe give this game a try. We're on to number 1, the reason you're here, and this is getting games to the table. One really valid reason for solo gaming is just to get the games that you love to the table more often. Sometimes you just want to play the game for the game's sake, and you can't always muster up 4 friends while you have an itch that needs scratching. The game I've selected for this position is the beast of all board games, Gloomhaven. I know at least half a dozen people who bought this game, and they've played no more than 5 to 10% of it. It sits in the closet waiting for the day that it will once again grace the table. And don't get me wrong, all of these people love this game and they can't get enough of it. So if you really want to get value from that purchase and you're having a hard time gathering up enough people to play that many missions, you may need to play Solitaire and explore its depths, level up your character, and just enjoy the interaction between yourself and the game. If you haven't tried this game yet, you might actually want to check out Jaws of the Lion first, and that's a standalone game set before the events of Gloomhaven. It's targeted a little bit more to casual gamers, if that's your bag. So if this video has helped you appreciate the value of solo board gaming or alerted you to a game that you hadn't considered playing before, please consider subscribing to our channel and liking the video. And also, NATO from Legendary Tactics has made a top 10 solo games that I'll link to at the end of the video, and he's got some really off the beaten path games on his list that you should check out. Thanks so much for your time.